What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about how to keep up with the meta as a competitive grappler. So what is the meta? The meta is basically what are the techniques and strategies that are becoming more prominent, either being raised from obscurity, what new developments are happening in the professional jiu-jitsu game that you as a competitor need to keep up with and either learn how to use offensively or definitely learn how to counter and stop. So the best way to do it is to just compete often. I mean, it's really self-explanatory, guys. If you're a competitor and you're looking to see what the best competitors are doing, well, compete often. The second thing you can do is just watch tape, right? Watch professional grappling events. Watch what people are doing. What are the new techniques that are becoming prominent in the meta? And that doesn't mean you need to adjust your offensive game, completely, to incorporate what they're doing. But you definitely need to have some defensive counters or some strategic counters to what people are doing. So watching professional grappling events and seeing what the best people in the world are doing, well, that's essential. That's definitely going to help you out, right? Speaking of watching tape, you can also just buy the instructionals of the people that are being successful with the current iteration of the jiu-jitsu meta, right? What are these guys doing that is leading them to funnel people to victory, either submission-wise or points-wise, etc.? And what are the defensive moves that are stopping what other people are trying to impose upon them? So the instructionals are helpful, guys. Most of them are very, very detailed. They go over all the specific pathways that they have to deal with certain kinds of resistance from the other person when they're trying to implement their game. And they're several hours long. So this is stuff that you can roll out through the mat for several weeks. You can train it for several weeks and incorporate it into your game. So I highly recommend instructionals. I haven't myself learned too much from too many instructionals because, I produce content, I show people my game, and I don't want what I show to be tarnished with, not tarnished, but I don't want to, take content that people produce behind a paywall and then show that. I don't think that's fair. So I try to specifically just only use game and what I've developed either on my own or from my own instructors and training partners, and try not to take from the content that people put behind paywalls. That being said, I'm in a very specific position being someone who produces technique videos. For everybody else, buy instructionals, guys. They're very, very helpful. The one or two that I have gotten definitely have changed my game for the better. The other thing you can do is go to seminars and take private lessons from these people, right? Jiu-Jitsu has grown dramatically in the last 5-10 years. It's exploded in popularity. People competing for $10,000 regularly, weeks in a row, was just unheard of. It was unheard of 5 years ago, much less 10 years ago. So we're continuing to attract new talent and continuing to attract more people that are interested in the martial art and therefore are willing to pay for these events. By the way, if you're going to watch a professional grappling event, yeah, please pay for it, guys, okay? This helps support not only the people that are putting on the event and all the time and effort and money that goes into that, but also the competitors themselves. A lot of times the sales from people watching these events does translate into more money for that competitor, either at that event or at a future event. So be sure to support grappling, guys. Make sure you actually pay for these events. Please don't pirate them. Now, again, you can also go to seminars and take private lessons from these people. And again, jiu-jitsu has exploded in growth tremendously. However, we're still at a point where, you can many, many times have private lessons and seminars from people that are the absolute best in the world, okay? That's Gordon Ryan, Craig Jones, all these people that are at the very top, still doing private lessons, and they're still doing seminars. Now, maybe you can't afford a $500 private lesson from a top 10 guy, but you might be able to afford a $200 private lesson from a top 100 guy, okay? And, this is not the case in basically any very prominent American sport, okay? Like taking a private from the best basketball or the best football players in the world, that's going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars pretty much. So take advantage of the stage that jiu-jitsu is in. I hope it continues to grow, and eventually, there may be that wall put up between the best in the world and sort of everybody else. They might be making so much money at some point, fingers crossed, that going to a weekend seminar or going to teach a private lesson is just not worth their time because of how much they're paying. But I think we're still a ways away from that. While we're still in this growth stage, take advantage of it, guys. You can learn from the best in the world in a personal one-on-one setting or in a seminar, which is a group setting. Either of those is fantastic. So if you're a competitor, these are definitely things that you guys need to do, and you guys need to constantly be expanding your game. You cannot be complacent and rely on what you've relied on in the past to win, because everybody else around you is learning. Everybody else around you is getting better. They're all innovating their games. You need to do the same, or you're going to be left behind. Think of it this way, okay? In 2011, you could be a purple belt with decent leg locks, and you could win ADCC trials. There is no way that would happen today. You're going to need to be really good everywhere. You cannot be just, a grappler that only goes for one specific thing and has other holes in their game. You need to be extremely well-rounded, and you need to be very, very skilled in multiple ways to funnel people to victory. So we're continuing to grow, and if you just were complacent and didn't grow past 2011 or where you were 10 years ago, the current guys, they just left you behind. And that's going to happen 10 years from now too. So make sure you guys don't get left behind. Make sure you guys are constantly improving and expanding your game. That's my advice as a guy, who has competed in pro grappling events, but, I'm not extremely high ranked. I'm definitely not. So take advice from other people that are much better than me and have done it and have done these pro events and have had more success than me. I'm sure they would probably tell you similar, but, listen to what they have to say as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you liked the video. Make sure you share it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Make sure you click that notification bell, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks a lot.